Okay, welcome to the weekend video. This is Enda here. Obviously, this bullwaves.org, and I'm just going to go through the markets, what happened this week, and we might make some sense of it, hopefully. I'm going to start on the cross rates, the dollar cross rates, and then we will go from there. The usual formula. I hope you're all good. To all my friends in the US, I wish you a happy Independence weekend. I believe Sunday is Independence Day. So, happy Independence Day. Good to be independent, but I'm waiting for the king. So, I used to be a Republican. In Irish terms, that means let's say subsidiarity and preferring the Republican form of government. Now I am a monarchist because I'm waiting for the king, King Jesus, and that's the man. That's the one that's going to sort it all out. So from Republican to monarchist, eh? Who'd have thunk it? Okay, let's move on. This is euro dollar, so we'll start in euro dollar. I'll go to the daily count, and you'll see what I'm talking about. The daily count, I'm tracking a long-term sideways triangle here, which still has, the guts of two ways left to go. So we're tracking ABC down in wave D, and then there'll be an ABC up in wave E. Let's go to the 4 hour count. You can see that we've got 3 down in A, most likely 3 up in B, and we're working on 5 waves down in wave C. It's kind of inching lower this week, so we seem to be entering a kind of a corrective, let's say, consolidation point at within the structure. So we'll get into the hourly count, and you'll see what I'm talking about. It looks like we're approaching a series of fourth waves, or we are within a series of fourth waves. So within wave C, we're working on 5 waves down. We're within wave 3 of 5 right now. I can't tell whether wave 4 is complete here, or we are going to see some sort of a larger 3-wave pattern develop in wave 4, and then we fall in wave 5. At the moment, I'm kind of, going with the baseline scenario that wave 4 is in, and then we're tracking lower right now in 5 waves within wave 5 of 3. So far so good. This pattern has worked out quite well. We've had the acceleration lower within wave 3 of 3, and we seem to be drawing to a close in a 5-wave pattern within wave 3 green. So it looks like we're going to probably grind sideways in some sort of a larger fourth wave in wave 4, and then we'll fall again in wave 5 to complete wave C. As for that wave 5 of C, I would like to see somewhere down around the 115 area to complete wave C. We're working towards that day by day. So next week, probably more the same, probably more sideways. We'll bottom in wave 3, and then we'll head into a corrective pattern in wave 4 in green. Okay, let's move on. Cable. I am a little more hopeful now that we are actually moving down into wave 5 in blue. So we've got wave 4 done, and we're heading down into wave 5 in blue. And it looks like we're tracking in a 5-wave pattern to complete wave 1. Wave 1 down. So if I get into the hourly count, I'll show you where my head is at right now. It looks like wave 1 is tracing out a pretty reasonable 5-wave pattern. So we've got wave 1 down, wave 2 up, and then a wave 1, 2, 3. It's possible that we have 3, 4, 5 done for wave 3, and then wave 4 and 5 now underway. It's still possible that we are going to unfold at a larger degree further on next week. So it's still possible that we are only completing wave 3 of 1 right now, and then we go wave 4 and 5 later. I can't really. I'm just going to have to wait and see how that works out. For the moment, this pattern is working. The declining wave 5, the momentum lower is definitely declining. We're slowing the downside progress, which suggests we're hitting towards a low for wave one, maybe wave one, pretty soon. I can pull out a 5-wave pattern here. This could develop even lower further. I can't, tell whether this is going to, we're going to see another acceleration lower. Maybe we finish a more extended pattern within wave 5, somewhere down around 136 or so. But for the moment, we have the minimum target for wave 5 gray now complete, with a break of wave 3. So maybe wave 5 and wave 1 are drawing to a close. If that's the case, then much like Eurodollar, we'll see sort of a corrective counter trend rally back up to 140 or so in wave 2 next week. We'll track it day by day. That's why you join the website, so you can see the nightly charts. Okay, move on to dollar yen. The pattern has moved reasonably well. Still tracking a third wave acceleration. So if we just tidy this up a little bit. It looks like right now that we're accelerating in wave 3 of 5 of 1. And this would be in a larger wave C. So the alternate account views wave 3 in blue. No, sorry, the alternate account is allowing for a larger wave 2 in blue. So maybe we've got wave 1 complete, and then we're working on maybe an expanded flat correction wave 2. Right now, I think the odds on that alternate account are declining because of pretty positive action over the last few weeks. We're holding that rising trend line. We've broken out above the previous high. The action is quite accelerative towards the upside. So it does suggest that the pattern is still intact in the short term. So maybe we're accelerating in a third of a third in wave 3 green here. So let's get into the hourly count, and I'll show you what I'm thinking on the short term here. So if we pull back a bit, it looks like we've got wave 1 and 2 in green complete. And then for wave 3 green, we've got wave 1, 2, and then we're accelerating higher in wave 3. And within wave 3 blue, we are within a third wave acceleration. So right now, it looks like we are within wave 3 of 3 of 3 of 3. And if that's the case, we should continue higher next week and for the rest of today. Right now, we are probably opening up the pre-market over in the US. So we've got the early trade just beginning. It looks like we're kind of consolidating overnight and into the early trade in the US. We're holding more or less at the highs of yesterday, just down a couple of. So I would like to see this continuation of this upside progress over the next week or so. That will kind of draw us closer to where we could say that wave 3 blue is completing. But right now, it looks, if this pattern is correct, it looks like we'll continue with an upside bias over the next week, maybe even 2, before we start closing out 5 waves up in wave 3 blue. Okay, for the moment, for today at least, we were going to have to hold the 110.41 low here at wave 2 in black, and we'll continue this pattern higher in wave 3 black. So far, so good. The kind of shift positively towards the dollar is, I think it could be a harbinger, basically. Maybe the currency market is experiencing some kind of renewed interest in the dollar. This would probably coincide with some sort of risk-averse nature starting to enter the market, and the fact that the US dollar was completely oversold. There was a huge short on the US dollar built up over the last couple of years. I think we are beginning to unwind that, and this could go a long way higher for a long time. But that's just something we're just going to have to work with day by day. If this pattern, this bullish pattern, continues next week, it looks like um, we are pretty positive US dollar over the next month or so. But let's see if this third wave pattern holds in wave 3 pink next week. Okay, move on. Okay, we've got the Dow. We still have the possibility that we're still holding the possibility that we have a series of 1-2s off the high. The Dow is now showing a, a pretty serious non-confirmation in term or against, let's say, the wider market and the S&P. The Nasdaq did race to new highs, so we've got a non-confirmation against the Nasdaq. Who knows? I mean, maybe the Dow just falls in line and rallies again and breaks out to a new high. I don't know. I wish I knew the future. But for now, the upside acceleration, upside momentum, let's say, forgive me, the upside momentum is still sporting lower highs. So we've got this on the 4-hour chart here. 4-hour is the main chart that I would look for in terms of momentum signals. But we've got a series of lower highs as this fifth wave developed. So we've got a reasonable divergence in place, and we've got a lower high in price also. So let's get onto the hourly chart and I'll show you what I'm thinking there. So we had initial drop was wave 1. We had an ABC up in wave 2. We have another drop that created wave 1 in gray, and then it looks like we have a possibility of a 3-wave pattern up. I am kind of stretching it a little bit, but it's still valid unless we get a break of that 34,850 level today. Then this rules out the series of 1-2, that 1-2-1-2 pattern to the downside. There is still the chance that we have an expanded flat correction here, although margins will be getting very tight at that point. Let's see how it goes. The possibility is there for, there's enough waves in place in the larger counts. There is enough waves in place to view this pattern as complete. We will just have to see whether that works out or not. I think if we break to a new high, then we'll obviously just start working with the end of wave 5 in blue again, because this will just be, this pattern off the high will just end up being a correction, most likely in that fourth wave, and then we will work higher in wave 5. For the moment, we've got a non-confirmation. We've got a significant slowdown in momentum. Significant slowdown in momentum and a reasonable series of lower highs. So we'll see, technically it looks like a top is forming, but even I'm just, as Perma Bear himself is double guessing himself. Well, we'll see how it works out. Okay, let's move on. More information needed, let's say, in the Dow. Okay, this is the gold wave count that I'm working with. We have we're forming some sort of consolidation this week. It's possible that it's a fourth wave before we head lower into wave 5. If that's the case, then we should see a break to a new. I'd say we should see a break of 1700 pretty quickly next week if this is a fourth wave. I'm still tracking the idea that we've got 5 waves down underway in wave C of 4. If you're a long-term buyer, it's probably not even a bad idea to start looking at opening positions pretty soon. I would like to see one more dip below 1700 before I do it myself, but I think we will probably hit our final lows if this pattern is correct, and so far it's proving correct. I think we'll probably start hitting our final lows once we break 1670 here. That's the previous lows within wave B. But if we break 1700 at all, I've I may even be tempted to start opening positions myself, but that'll be physical positions rather than leverage positions. I would still, in general, I'm looking for a fill of this trend channel to complete wave 4. So let's get into the hourly chart. I'll stop meandering on the 4-hour chart there. So you can see we've got wave 1 down, a 2 up, an acceleration lower in a third wave. Not sure whether that third wave is complete or we are only completing wave 4 of 3. Still very possible that this whole sideways move here is only wave 4 of 3 of C. However, I'm kind of open to the possibility that wave 4 in green is underway now. And if that's the case, then we will see again more sideways action next week. This consolidation will continue, and then before we fall again towards that lower target in the 1650 area. Okay, I think a series of fourth waves before we head lower into wave 5 is the idea next week. Crude oil, my dear. Let's get to the daily count of the crude oil. As you can see here, I'm working on this large expanded flat B wave. So we've got wave A up into the 18 highs, 3 waves down in wave B into the 2020 lows, and then 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 up in wave C. That's in general, I'm looking for a top pretty soon. It doesn't have to break 76.60 or 76.70. It looks like we'll probably do that now, seeing as we're so close. And then fall in wave C. So let's get into the 4-hour chart. You can see what I'm looking at here. So that's wave 3 of C. So wave C in red there. Wave 3, triangle wave 4, and then possible 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 underway. We'll see how that tracks out over the next week or so. If we've got wave 3 and 4 done, and then we should head up in 5 waves up in wave 5. So we've got wave 1, 2, probably still moving within wave 3, unless this is a triangle in wave 4. So I'll show that for you here now. You can see that nice consolidation in, that compression in the range. Possibly a fourth wave within wave 5, or else it's wave 4 within wave 3. So if that's the case, then we'll get a pop higher in to complete wave 3 today, and then we'll correct lower again in wave 4. The general kind of rally itself is constrained by this wedge still. So we've got this kind of upside wedge going on here. It looks like we've got more or less a similar situation as we have in the stock market. There's really significant divergence in momentum against the price. So the price has rallied, momentum has completely kind of flatlined. We're still on the positive side of that momentum, but we seem to be cycling lower again. So it remains to be seen. Once we top out in wave 5, then we are open. I'm open to the possibility that we're gonna fall into a C wave. Okay, let's move on. We've got the S&P. S&P is pushing to new highs this week, and we are again close to that kind of trapdoor scenario. If wave 4 is done at that, let's say 40.31 level, let's get a final low on that, at 40.33 level. If wave 4 is done there, then off that wave 4 low, we have 5 waves up in play. So within this 5th wave here, let's break it out and see what's going on. You can see I'm still working on that wedge pattern, that ending diagonal pattern, because we've got a major break within the pattern. So we've got 3 waves up in wave 1, 3 waves down in wave 2, 3 up in 3, 3 down in 4, and where wave 4 broke significantly below the wave 1 low, and then working again on 3 up in 5. On the short-term chart, we've got this kind of plateauing and decline in momentum, and the price just is minusculely marching its way higher, with just about pipped above the upper trend line here of the channel. So we've hit a point where wave 5 in pink has broken above the high of wave 1 in pink. So you can see here 42.84 marked the point where wave 5 and wave 1 reached equality. We do have an upper target there at 43.76. That's where wave 5 will reach 162% of wave 1. We'll see. The market is just pretty much on autopilot right now. It's hard to know, where we'll end up with these very small inclines and consolidations seem to be very, almost algorithmic in almost. What am I saying? Almost. They are algorithmic in nature. They seem to be moving the same amount of points higher and correcting the same amount of points lower, moving the same amount of points higher. We'll probably see a similar type of correction here, in the 10-point range. You know, rally, correct 50%, rally, correct 50%, rally, correct 50%. It's almost mathematical in its nature. So I'm not sure how long the market is going to hold with that sort of pattern, because it's too unnatural, and the beast of the market will probably come back out again pretty soon. Let's see if we can put in some. Again, just looking for a top. I'm continuously, as you might say, searching for that final high to end all highs. Let's see whether that comes next week. Okay, silver. It seems to be again stuck in some sort of a consolidation, a fourth wave consolidation, before we head lower again into wave 5. I think off that recent high at 30, we're still tracking lower in corrective pattern in wave 2. So I'm still tracking that wave C of actually this is a little bit more complex a pattern than gold, but off that wave B high, let's say I'm tracking 3 waves down. So it'll be a combination wave for wave 2. Looks like we're tracing out 5 waves down with an acceleration in a third wave. So let's get into the hourly chart here. So I've got wave 3 down of C. Sorry, wave 3 of C complete at the recent lows. It looks like we've got a sideways flat correction in wave 4, and then yesterday we spiked lower again, possibly to begin wave 5 down. So I would like to see that wave 4 hold at 26.40, and I'd like to see the wave 3 of 5 of 3 fall again. So it looks like we're approaching a low in wave 3 green. Probably early next week. I'm sure by Monday or Tuesday we'll have that done, and then we're probably open to a correction higher in wave 4 then. Hopefully holding below that 26 level again. That'd be good. So for the moment, looking for a third wave down to complete, and we'll probably head in somewhat of a corrective fashion higher in wave 4 next week. Let's move on. I think why not cover some Bitcoin? The main wave count is tracking a 5th wave down in wave A. So it looks like we've got 5 waves down, 3 waves up, and we may be heading lower into a third of 5 next week. If we break 28,500 again, or 28,560, that low there, that will confirm wave 3 down is underway. Still a possibility that wave A in black is already done, and wave B in black is already done. And now we are moving down in wave C of black. In wave, wave C black, as you can see here in the larger alternate count. If that's correct, then we will probably wave A fell. Let's see, we get some sort of a ballpark on this. Wave A fell like 30,000 $30,000. $30,000. If wave B is done and then wave C matches wave A, then we'll probably fall into about $5,000 in wave C. If that's the case, if the alternate count is correct, well, well, at that point, it may well be a fantastic buy, a speculative buy. It remains to be seen. I'm tracking a 5-wave pattern lower within either wave 5 of A or within wave C. So both options are still open. It all depends on how low it goes, really. Let's get into the hourly count and I'll show you what I'm thinking here. You can see off this wave 4 high at 41,200. We've got 5 waves down in wave 1 of 5, 3 waves up in wave 2 of 5, and with a bit of luck, we're heading lower into wave 3 of 5. We haven't got confirmation of that yet. I would like to see a break of below 30,000 again to really open up the trapdoor scenario into wave 3 of 5. And that could be quite a wicked move down in both scenarios. Okay, I think that'll do it. Thanks so much for watching. Every time I do these videos, I always end with that end screen. And in the end, nothing else matters in your life, only your allegiance. So you're either aligned with this world or you're aligned with the king of this world. The prince of this world is Satan. So you're either aligned with him or you're aligned with God. So if you want to align yourself with God, you got to accept the king, Jesus. So just go and do that. End your week on a positive note, and then you'll have sealed yourself for eternity. And I'll meet you up there. It looks like we're heading over the next few years is going to be a pretty horrendous time on planet Earth. So I'd like nothing else but to see you in heaven. Apart from that, have a great weekend. All you friends over in the US, I wish you the best. I pray God's blessing upon you all. And everybody who's listening, I pray the Lord bless you. And we will see you if I make it through this weekend. We'll see you on Monday back on the website. Actually, tonight. I will see you on tonight's update for all you members of the website. And for everybody else, Godspeed, God bless, and just read the screen. Have a good day and a good weekend. God bless. Bye-bye.